Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hi guys, welcome to MHFS. Big up everyone locked in. Make sure guys are liking the video. Make sure guys are subscribing. As you can see, my co-host is not here, of course. Always, blame Husam. Everything is wrong with Husam and all that type of stuff. We get it, guys. But anyway, hi everyone. Welcome to the channel. Like the video on your way and subscribe to the channel. Arsenal lost the game of football. You didn't change the title from Arsenal 1?
I did. Entire you don't know. I did. It's on studio.
Oh, you changed it on the studio. Fair enough.
I don't change
Big
it.
up to everyone locked in, guys. Arsenal lost the game of football. If you were part of that watch along on Don Husam, you had a lot of fun. We were there just singing Arsenal Jabo. We were just watching Troops' watch along. We were just having a great time. Arsenal have proven what I have said all season long, that even if they had all the players fit and all that type of stuff, they still would have lost the league because they are clueless a little bit in the final third. And you know, I saw what Terry said. I think he got really angry at the comments, like, oh, what do you want me to say? And all this. But at the end of the day, performances like this make my life arguing for my side a lot easier, you know, because you watch this Arsenal side and they're just so clueless going forward. I actually am at the place now, and I don't know if Mo agrees or not, or Staffy, because as you guys know on MHF, it's not just trolling. We're here also to talk tactically a little bit. I do think in the final third, Arsenal are a little bit clueless. You need someone to do something every now and then. You could tell that Odegaard is having his worst ever season because he's playing like absolute shit, in my opinion. And to be honest with you, we will see what happens like with the PSG game. Obviously, I know they care more about the PSG game than they care today. But yeah, I think the position that Arsenal are headed in, they should be scared for next season. They might even need a new creator. Never mind just a new striker. But yeah,
Staffy, what was your take? No, forget all of this intro, guys. Hit that like button, guys. We just started the show. It's 4 minutes in. We have 150 people, right? Like the damn video, because I promise you this is going to be a hell of a 45 minutes or an hour of a show, right? So like the video. If you're watching this in the replay, like the video. Staffy's new camera, crystal fucking clear. Hats off to you, broski. Like it's fucking, you're muted. You fucking bottled it. It's okay. You're muted.
Why am I on mute? Oh, because Husam told me to mute.
You, broski, I want to hear Staffy's take. Wallahi.
Why you laughing already?
The Oli steak. Oh my god.
Oh, on the sleep. Wallahi, bro. I told these guys. You know what? Wallahi, bro. Good food. Let me teach you guys something. Good food. If you want to eat real food, we're Arab here. Husam will tell you his mom makes great food. Mo will tell you that. I'll tell you that. Great food takes time to marinate. If someone makes you a meal in 30 minutes, just know it's most likely not going to be good. But if you marinate it the night before, ooh, Husam, you know when Ummak puts like the chicken and like the fridge, she's like, oh, this is for tomorrow. Then the chicken comes out amazingly marinated, the kofta, the kebab, whatever you're eating. Great food takes time to marinate. But you know what else takes great time to marinate? Football takes. Football takes need good time to marinate. I was on this very platform, 6 weeks ago or a month ago? I think it's a month ago exactly. That I'm convinced this only second place team would have given Liverpool a title race, unlike Arsenal. And I was here. And people said, no, you're waffling. I think Tom was here. And I don't remember if he agreed or not, but we started debating on, but this Oli team finished 12 points. I think it was like 12 points behind the City. It was never a title race. And I said, well, the quality of the league was great, especially City. City was amazing. I mean, anyone who would have chased down that City team would have been him. That's why Klopp was so great, because he was the only guy to take a league from Prime City, not just City, Prime City. And then I'm looking today. I was like, yo, let me check the Premier League table real quick. And I see 67 points in second place with 3 games to go. Wallahi, find shame. Wallahi al-Azim, find shame. 67 points in second place. When would that, if that was the case, wallahi, Liverpool would have about 4 more leagues in the last 5-6 years. Because the amount of times these guys finished on 80 plus and 90 plus points and didn't win the league. And now I'm seeing people on 67 points. 67 with 3 games to go. And you know they're probably not going to win all 3 because they're not going to be focused. They got Champions League, So we're probably going to see a couple more results like this. This Arsenal team, I praised them over what they did in the Champions League, but today I'm gonna change my tone. All right, I'm a channel my inner Stephen A. Smith. Staffy A. Smith has made an appearance today on MHF. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video and to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this Arsenal team is an absolute embarrassment. They're a disgrace to English football. They're an embarrassment to themselves. They're an embarrassment to their fan base. They're an embarrassment to the institution. What I have seen from them over the last few games has been nothing short of embarrassing, horrendous, anything that you want to say about it. These guys have 2 wins in their last 7 games. Those 2 wins were against Real Madrid. And I meant to believe, by the way, credit for those 2 games. I was one of their biggest defenders when they won. Credit those 2 games. Arsenal fans, most of them, not all of them, want to make you believe that football is played in isolation.
Yeah, but hold on.
Tournaments.
Hold on. Can I stop you there?
Let me go.
خليه يكمل يا اخي ما فيش داعي كل تفاحتك واسكت.
Yeah, كل تفاحتك واسكت. You're acting like Snow White out here. But there might be poison in it. Maybe that poison is going to keep you quiet for the rest of the show. Arsenal fans make you believe that football is meant to be played in isolation and certain tournaments are played in a certain vacuum where nothing else impacts it. You can be very good in the Champions League, and I've given you credit for that. That does not dismiss the fact that you go into the league and you show no form whatsoever, and your manager is persisting with playing your best players. If they would have been losing with their academy players because they don't care about the league, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't bat an eye. The first loss, first draw, I ignored it. The first 2, I ignored it. 3, it was hard to accept it, but I was like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. But when you're 2 wins in the last 7 games and you're supposed to carry form going into the Parc des Princes against PSG, and this is the performance that you show me against Bournemouth, you have to be called out. I am no longer accepting the fact that, but Arsenal are progressing. This is why it's okay. We can just ignore a certain form in the league or whatever because they're going to be better next year. You are not that team this year. Last year, you progressed in the league, and we just gave you some type of excuse. We gave you the benefit of the doubt. It is not an excuse to regress in the league into pursuit of winning the Champions League. This is why we have great teams in the history of the Premier League that we speak about. Because when they were pursuing European tournaments, they were picking up domestic cups and they were maintaining form in the league. When Fergie, when Jose Mourinho, when Pep, when Klopp, when anyone was resting players in the league, in order to win a Champions League or something like that, they still maintained a form. Fergie never benched his best team saying, hey, by the way, you can lose today because I need Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez to beat someone in the Champions League on Tuesday or on Wednesday. No, we still went and won games. Jose Mourinho, when he was going and winning Champions Leagues with all the teams that he went with, when he was going to Chelsea and putting back-to-back seasons, even when he wasn't winning the Champions League, he was maintaining a certain standard in the league. Football has great teams, and those great teams showed us that they can compete on front ends in most competitions. You're not going to win them all, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's unfair if they win the Champions League, they finish second in the league. However, your league form is unacceptable considering where we were in the last 2 years. This whole excuse needs to end. Football, as I said, is not played in a vacuum. You don't just play the Champions League in isolation, then play the Premier League in isolation. It's about maintaining all of them, because I don't care about your progression if you go season in, season out, not winning any tournaments, not major, any tournament. And I have to sit here at the end of the season again and make an excuse. Who had a better year? Spurs, if they won the Europa League, or Arsenal finishing second? United, if they win the Europa League, or Arsenal if they finish second? Liverpool last year, if they finish top 4 and win the Carabao Cup, but Arsenal if they finish second? These conversations have been annoying. I'm speaking with so much anger, and I'm not even an Arsenal fan, because I'm so tired of what certain fans are trying to make the sport and this competition to be what it's not. And it's not played this way. That's my cooking.
But you said, I forgot what I was about to ask you.
I said a lot of things.
Don't you think that the team that played, you said Arsenal are crap this season. Don't you think that the team that played against Real Madrid is a good team?
You heard all this, and that's what you came up. I didn't say Arsenal crap. I said Arsenal have regressed in the league this season. I am actually holding Arsenal to a high standard because what did I say, Mo? I said great teams done these things. If you want to be a big team and you want to be in a big club, Husam will tell you this, I will tell you this, and Mo will tell you this as an Inter Milan fan. You get this type of criticism once you put yourself in the big boys league. If you want to be a big boy club used to get criticized all the time for not winning the cups, Husam, right? Because remember, he used to put all the kids and all the reserves, and people used to say he doesn't care for the cups. How many times did he get criticized for it? Because City were winning the league, and then he doesn't win the cups. Obviously, he gets away with having a Champions League, but he faced that criticism. That is a team and a manager that won a Champions League. Why am I not to give this Arsenal team and Arteta the same criticism? And by the way, this is not me saying Arteta out, because I feel like Twitter has just, YouTube has just become so brain dead that the minute you give someone criticism, it means you're fully out on the manager and the team. And if you give them praise, it means you're glazing and saying they deserve a 10-year contract. I am holding Arsenal by a high standard that they want to reach. They want to be a big boy club. You need to act like a big boy club. You cannot lose or not win, 5 of your last 7 games, and I'm just going to make an excuse. You cannot do that. You cannot have 67 points considering where you were last season and regress in the league. And I'm going to say, well, you know what? They reached the semifinals, so you know what? Let's give them an excuse one more year. No, you need to be
what if they
under criticism.
What if they reach the final?
Same thing. I'll still give them praise. Mo, but you're completely missing what I said. I said that the tournaments are not played in isolation. That is my problem. I could praise you in the Champions League, but I could blame you and criticize you for what you're doing in the league.
For example, play completely different brand of football in the league than in the Champions League.
Where are you sitting in the league right now?
Second. We're shit. We're about to lose the league. Huh.
Okay, you're second. You've won the league more recently than Arsenal. Okay, so you've won the league last season. Yes. You were in a title race. How many points is between you and Napoli? 4 points or 3 points?
3 points.
3 points. It's within reach. Liverpool have 82 points and Arsenal have 67. That's a 15-point gap with 3 games left. That is embarrassing. They're about to lose the league by double-digit points. How is that not to be criticized?
And also, just to add on to Staffy's point regarding not separating, you want to know what I really hate? This is what I hate. Arteta did really bad in the Premier League, but he's doing amazing in the Champions League. You want to know why I hate that statement? Because the Arsenal that play in the Champions League are Arsenal Football Club, and the Arsenal that play in the Premier League are Arsenal Football Club, and the Arsenal that play in the Carabao Cup are Arsenal Football Club, and the Arsenal that play in the FA Cup are the Arsenal Football Club, all managed by Arteta, all have the same exact squad. So we can't separate, because guess what? If Arsenal win the UEFA Champions League this season, we won't just say Arteta succeeded. We will say Arteta
is a legend. You said it before. Yeah, you said that.
Overachieved, imagine.
Yeah,
we'll say
I know that.
Overachieved by winning the Champions League. Never mind, achieved his goal. So for me, you don't become a different team in different competitions. Prime example, right now, Mo, as things stand, Inzaghi is a failure because he's second in the league. And if I bring you an AC Milan fan, a Napoli fan, and a Juve fan on the stream, they'll all tell you Inter have the best squad in the whole league, the best starting 11 in the whole league.
Yeah, not even a question.
In the whole league. So they have to win the league.
Even a question.
Hello?
Okay. No, we don't have the best manager.
Inzaghi wins Inter their first Champions League in 15 years. Mo don't give a fuck anymore. Done.
I don't give a fuck.
You're a success. You're amazing. You're incredible. You've won us the first Champions League since Jose Mourinho era. There's nothing to complain about. But let's not separate here like the Inzaghi that manages Inter in the Serie A is a different one. It's not.
It's a different one. It's a different one. The difference between us and Arteta is that the one that coaches Inter in the Champions League is different one than the one that coaches Inter in the. You know that. You watch both. But for Arteta, okay. Do you guys know what? Do you guys how many starters play today for Inter?
How many?
Can someone guess?
Like 5,
6, maybe 5.
0. You know we have another 11 players than the ones that will play on.
Speaking of 0, you want to know who's the real zeros? The ones who are not liking the video. Big up to the Football Terrace for the raid.
That's a lie, Mo, by the way. I caught you.
Big up to the Football Terrace for the raid.
I
600 people in the
I'm
building.
watching the game right here.
We get the likes.
Brian and Darmian, they're not starters.
They're not. No.
It's irrelevant. I just want to piss you off.
اتفضل قولهم انت يلا. Go ahead.
No, يا عمي nobody. De Vrij, Acerbi is a starter. Bisek, Davart is a starter. Darmian, Dumfries is a starter. No one is the starter, Staffy. The two strikers are not starters. Aslan is not a starter. Zelensky is not a starter. Fratesi is not a starter. Zwalecki is not a starter. Carlos Augusto is not a starter because he's Denmark. No, he's not. Acerbi is the starter.
Yeah, it's Acerbi. Who's your back now again? Acerbi.
Guys, do you know that I think even the goalkeeper
Bastoni will start.
No, Habibi, it's Acerbi, Pavard, Bastoni. That's the starting 11.
Pavard is back.
Pavard
we digress
anyway. From the football terrace. Like the video, guys. 700 people in here. Come on, let's get the likes up. Anyway, go ahead,
but if you lose
Egal, can I tell you something? Egal said something on the football terrace. He was raving about everyone that is upset.
I'm tired of Egal too, bro. Bring him here, bro.
If a rage is a fake rage, Egal said that you shouldn't be upset. Osam, send him the link if you want to join.
Send him the link, bro. Let me smoke.
Osam, send Egal the link.
Out of Egal.
Where's Egal?
Send him the link. He's going out at 9:30, so he can join us for half an hour. Right? Like you shouldn't be upset.
I don't have WhatsApp on my PC.
يا عم, just send him the link with your phone. خلاص, I send you the link on your phone يعني. يا الله يا ولي أصلا. لا إله إلا الله. This guy is just so strange. Anyway, here you go. Here you go. I sent you the link. Like, to be honest with you, he said that nobody should be upset that Arsenal lost today. Who gives a shit? The players didn't even want to play. We already lost the league. It doesn't matter.
That is the issue, Mo.
It doesn't matter. We shouldn't be focusing on the league. They
put a strong team today, Mo, to get some form going into next game.
So that they criticized Arteta for. They said that Arteta should not have started all these players.
Okay, so there's two ways to look at this. Is it Arteta's fault for trusting the players, or is it the players' fault for not actually
for him to start
living up to the trust that the manager gave him? Either way, there's criticism needs to be given.
Both are wrong. Okay, in my opinion, you step on that pitch, you perform, regardless if you have a game on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Thank you.
You as a manager, like Inter today, we have a Barcelona game. We're starting 11 completely different players. Unless Basic is going to start because Pavard is not fit enough.
All the starters were there for Arsenal.
Now that's the problem. The problem is that Arteta today started the 11 players and nobody wanted to play. They didn't want to play. It's very obvious. The players didn't want to even be on the pitch.
And that's
who's to criticize here? So who's to criticize both, in my opinion? However, to go off this game and say that this is an indication of an Arsenal season, I don't think so. It is not an indication of Arsenal season, is it? You can't tell me that
today or in general.
Today is not an indication of Arsenal season. Not today.
Okay. I still don't think you understand what I said.
There are a lot of other things that happen.
Today is not an indication on its own, but today
it's not.
Is a small indication alongside 15 small indications that
I agree. It's an accumulation. It's an accumulation of what's been happening recently, Mo.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. When you have 2 wins in your last 7, it's not acceptable.
You want to know how when you get angry in a relationship, not every time you get angry at something big. Sometimes it's 100 small things. This is 100 small things.
Yeah, when things add up and you finally just blow up and you're like, you know what, I can't handle this no more. This is what's going on right now. It is not acceptable to be in clutch time at the end of the season. We all knew for the longest that they're not going to win the league, right? Yes, Mo?
Yes,
we all agree on that. Sam knows that. I know that. Everyone with any bit of IQ understands that. Yeah, as you said, the minute you're on that pitch, you're expected to perform. This Arsenal team does not have enough credit in the bank, and a lot of these players don't have enough credit in the bank to just go out on a game like that at home where they're filling out the stadium. How big is that stadium? 50, 60,000 seater? You're sitting there at home and you have an important game midweek and your manager put you on with the hope of picking up some form so it can carry on to the next game, and you're telling me the players don't care. What credit in the bank do you have to not care? If you want to be a great team, I was listening yesterday to an ESPN podcast because they were talking about the NBA playoffs, and someone said something very, very good. He said, great players and great people did things that everyone else didn't do. For you to be great, you have to do things that the average person doesn't do. For this Arsenal team to be great, they can't just go like every other team that's on the beach because they have nothing to play for. They're like, yeah, we're going to stroll today. You go and you go against this Bournemouth team and you put 4 or 5 past them and you put some fear into that PSG team that showed us before that they could be complacent when they're leading. And you tell them, hey, look, I don't even care for the league. And I'm going to build up some form, and I'm going to put 5 past Bournemouth, and I'm going to go against you on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm going to give you a game. What level of competition or any level of anything today, of mentality that this Arsenal team today showed that PSG team going into Wednesday? They're showing them that they're half in, half out on the league, and they only care for that competition, which they already lost in last week at home. So again, what credit in the bank do you have to go around today and stroll and do nothing on the pitch? Because you can, I don't want to even criticize the manager today, because you know what? He put these players, and I know he wanted to get a reaction for them and a form out of them, and they did nothing. So you can criticize him for the selection. I'm criticizing the players that were there and they actually didn't put a shift in. Saka being diabolical today. Odegaard, I said this on Twitter, tweeted this. He is a resemblance. He's the image of what this Arsenal team is. Because this guy gets picked on every game. He hasn't performed in a while. He can't pick a pass. Fair enough, he gets an assist, and then gets dunked on in the back post. And people wonder why people always question this Arsenal team and the Arsenal mentality. When your captain is not showing any signs of leadership and any mentality, what do you think? What do you think the rest of the people are going to expect from your team? This has to be called out, Mo.
He shouldn't be the captain, to be honest with you. I don't think he's a captain.
That's a different conversation as well.
He's too nice of a guy to be a captain. He's too... Today, again...
He's not leading by example, Mo. He doesn't have the mentality of ruthlessness. By the way, he's not leading by example because he's not playing well.
You don't even have to lead by example. What you have to do is basically... Yeah, I mean, he's not... You need to be a leader. He's not even a leader on the pitch. He's not even a leader on the pitch. I don't know how... To be honest, like, he's still a captain of Arsenal. It's too much sentimental things that happen at Arsenal at the current moment. Like, I don't think that he is. I think Odegaard should be out. By the way, I said on the football terrace, and Egal said otherwise. He's on the call right now. I said on the football terrace that if
Egal, put your phone on auto rotate. Just do auto rotate. So it fills up the
if Arsenal do win the Champions League, in my opinion, at the end, this all will be remembered. Odegaard being captain, the bad performances, and all this stuff, they will be remembered, right? Egal on the football terrace said he doesn't care. It doesn't matter. Or this game doesn't matter at all. Who cares if we win or lose or draw? As long as we don't get any injuries, that's all what matters. I disagree. I still think that you should play all right in the league, right? You shouldn't be that bad. They were horrific in the second half. You can tell in the corner kicks they don't care as much. But to be honest with you, like, at the end, if Arsenal win it, fine. But if they don't win the Champions League, all of this is going to be for nothing, right? Like, it's for nothing. Am I wrong to say that all of this has been for nothing? Not having a good score. Like, it has been for nothing. If you believe your team will go and win it, but by the way, if you become sick, I said that, but if Arsenal drop to 6 and they win the Champions League, it's a success of a season. And no one can argue otherwise. It's a success of a season. Because at the end, you won a bigger trophy than the Premier League, which is the Champions League. But if you don't win it, bro, like, if you don't win the Champions League, and you're already 1-0 down.
Let me jump in. I'm talking it from the perspective of a fan who's having to hear our own fan base basically say, after beating Real Madrid, we can do it. One game we drop points. One game we lose by 1 goal, and they're already throwing in the towel, saying they're quitting. And then a result like this sends them into meltdown. We're not mentally stable, bro. As a fan base, because we haven't won trophies in a long time, like the major honors, we're so hot and cold to the point where it's ridiculous. And this is why I'm saying, does it really matter? Because the same people who right now are saying Arteta out, sack him, or get rid of him, look at what he's doing, we can't even defend set pieces, are the same people who said going into this game, play Neto, play Kivior, play Zinchenko, play Kieran Tierney, play Sterling, and Ethan, and all the backup players in every position, as if this game didn't matter. And now that we lose playing the starters, which is the main issue, losing playing the starters is the main issue. Because if we were to lose playing all those bench players, there would be some understanding, right? The main reason why a lot of these guys are upset is because the starters were risked in this game, could have got injured, and some of them were not playing up to their level because maybe they were trying to save the, or similar to how some of the players had their eyes on the World Cup, they were focused on other things and they were trying to preserve their energy. But long story short, Mo, the reason why I say what I said is or draw this game, I still think we're going to get Champions League football. Coming in second, third, or fourth, yes, there might be a monetary difference, but from a fan's perspective, the same people who've been preaching, who cares coming in second, not first, you're last, why are they all of a sudden speaking up and coming out yapping all this shit? I think it's actually ridiculous, and I think people are not staying consistent. I think from a outsider perspective, fair, but from the inside looking in, there's a lot of agendas running left, right, and center. And if people want to say I'm running my own agenda, fair play. But I'm sitting here right now telling you guys, I don't think any Arsenal fan on the planet will give a shit about us losing to Bournemouth today if we go on to win the Champions League or if we go on to get to the final, let alone win the Champions League. If we get to the final, they will never bring up this game. Forget about winning it.
Really? You don't think that bro, you know that if you don't win this Champions League, if you reach the final, people will still run their agenda. You know that.
Bro, our issue this season in the league is long gone. This season in the league is gone. Liverpool have already lifted the trophy. Why do I care about coming in second or fifth? I get it that people care about winning games and the performances and these things somewhat matter. Set pieces, conceding too many set piece goals. I get that. But the main issue is playing the starters and having that kind of performance. And number two, it's what do you call it? The second thing I would say is the set pieces. Losing the game or winning the game, the result really doesn't matter. We're still gonna get Champions League football. We're still gonna be comfortable in the Champions League next year. We're still gonna be focused on the PSG game next, and whatever happens in that game dictates how our season goes. This game today does not dictate our season, and the reason why people are are so emotionally attached to this game, they want another stick to beat the manager with, and so on Wednesday they can add this to the list of issues.
Egal, but I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I'm not even calling for Arteta's head, saying Arteta out. In the whole rant that I had, not once did I say Arteta should get sacked. Not a single time. I'm just talking about how it's unacceptable. Egal, do you know, Egal, that since the start of April, you've beaten 2 teams only. You've beaten Fulham and you've beaten Madrid. Today is May 3rd.
But that's called? I got one word for you. Priorities.
No,
that is our priority.
This is why I'm so tired of Arsenal fans. That's not how football works, Egal.
Bro,
you can't just always do the bigger fish to fry gimmick.
It's not a gimmick. It's the reality. We drew to Everton. We drew to Everton. We friggin' drew to another team. We go beat Real Madrid over 2 legs. Yes, we lost to PSG 1-0. But bro, the reality is, if we go and win the fucking Champions League, no one gives a shit. Same way how if you go and win the Europa League, it masks over all the stink of your season.
No, it doesn't, Egal, because come the summer, I need to address my regression in the league again. It's a good little trophy. No, okay, Egal, but here's the thing. This is why I'm just so tired of Arsenal fans. And if you missed my rant, maybe when the show ends, just go watch and start of what I said. I am just tired of this whole priority thing when it comes to Arsenal first. When it comes to Arsenal fans, football is not played. These tournaments are not played in isolations. You don't go in a vacuum and play the Premier League. You don't go into a vacuum and just focus on the Champions League. There's 3 teams in the competition that are on course to do a treble. Inter can do a treble. Barcelona can do a treble. And what's their name? PSG can do a treble.
Inter out the cup. What are you talking about?
Are Inter out the cup, Mo?
Yeah, we bought them.
All right, never mind. Then double, because maybe they just lost last week.
Inter might be out of the title race.
They're still 3 points behind. They're 3 points behind. My point is, not all these teams go into the Champions League and just let's do the bigger fish to fry, because you did it with the Europa League and you never won it. I'm not saying that this Champions League is going to be irrelevant. It is going to, obviously, as you said, it's going to make a lot of fans forget about what happened in the league. It still doesn't make it acceptable, Egal, that in your year 5 or 6 or whatever is under Arteta, from the progression that you had last season, you go into this season and you massively regress in the league. All the excuses for how poor you've been in the league have ran out. It was the Odegaard injury. It was the Saliba injury. It was the Saka injury. It was the Havertz injury. You've had a very good team out there today, and I didn't like what I've seen from you guys. And I haven't liked what I've seen from Arsenal over the past month when you just take the Real Madrid game away. It is a very fair criticism to hold against a team that is meant to say, by the way, this is what Arsenal fans tell me, they are expected to dominate football in the next 3 to 5 years. I am not seeing a mentality of a team and a progression from a team that is meant to dominate over the next 5 years. So it is fair criticism, Egal. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. That's your opinion. From my perspective, we're only looking at what matters at this point. And what matters is trying to win the major honor. If we can't win the league, really and truly, getting a couple more results, even if we finish second or third, does it really matter? The
So
league
why did your
finish?
manager put the best team out today? He
I
went for the
don't
best
know.
team he thought.
I don't know. Maybe it was to try out certain tactics throughout the game or different types of movements for Declan Rice and Odegaard and see how the team would function. That is the only logic in why I think he might have done that, because some of the players in the second half, the performance they put in, it was more preservation rather than progression in trying to play well. I do think there was a little bit of that World Cup type factor where we've seen a lot of players dropping their form leading up to the World Cup, that World Cup year, because they were focused on other things. And right now, Arsenal 100% focused only on the Champions League. PSG have already won their league. They're 100% only focused on the Champions League. Barcelona are in a title race, and their performances, the way that they're dropping their performances in their own league, you can see that they're focused on the Champions League. You're an Inter fan, Mo.
They're not.
You can't tell me your performance in the cup did not have something to do with the fact that you have a Champions League tie coming up very soon, and some of these guys played very poor against a
That's why
derby.
I'm questioning these players, Egal. I'm questioning your
And
players. I'm
it's not
questioning your
only,
manager.
but the thing is, it's not only Arsenal. I'm seeing it across the board for the other three other Champions League semi-finalists also. So I think it's a thing now. People are judging Arsenal based on the fact that we haven't won trophies in the past, but right now we're asking for ambition, and the ambition is to focus on trying to win the thing that matters and stop getting crying and having hissy fits over things that don't matter. We conceded 2 set piece goals. Address that. We played a starting 11
That's
almost,
what I'm doing,
and we
Egal. I'm addressing your form.
and we lost. I agree with you there. That is wrong. We shouldn't be losing playing that full strength team. But overall, at the run of the whole season, all I'm focused on right now, all my chips are in one basket. And if I'm going all in, I'm sorry if I'm not going crazy over a defeat to Bournemouth. I'm sorry if Liverpool beat us next week. There's gonna be people losing their head, but only if we get knocked out. If we don't get knocked out, and we go to the final. I guarantee you, no one gives a shit what happens at Anfield if we go to the final.
All right, someone else go. I've said enough.
Anyways, guys, I gotta go. Love Mo. I'm sorry I can't stay for the whole show. Husam, big up to you.
No. Thank you
And
for
I'll,
joining,
and I'll tell
Habibi.
and I'll
We're
tell you
gonna
guys
put
one
it
more
on.
thing. I'll tell you guys one more thing. To all you people who said if you come in second, you're the first loser, shut your mouths about the league position. Because we don't want to hear about you guys talking shit about where we finish in the league. Man City this. Man City won the league 4 years in a row, and now they're bragging 3 points behind Arsenal. Have some shame. Where's your standards? Pep Guardiola, best manager in the world, best striker in the world, and you guys are bragging about being 3 points behind Arsenal. Have some shame and decorum. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.
See.
Peace.
That's a very passionate rant from Egal there, but I do have to say there's a lot I disagree with. I agree completely with what Staffy said. First of all, big up everyone locked in. We have 1,000 people in the building. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Everyone, please hit the like button and subscribe. Guys, we have 1,000 people in here. We're not even at 200 likes yet. Can we get the likes up, you bunch of frauds? Hit the like button right now.
How do we have 1,000 people and not 200 likes?
Yeah, not 200 likes. Come on, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Horrible conversion rate.
I'll just say this. The reason why I'm in complete agreement with Staffy, and this doesn't happen often, is because the way that he broke this down is very logical. The fact that you started your starters today makes it inexcusable. That's the truth. Because if you basically started the bench players today, if this was Sterling, Nwaneri, blah, 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 no one would have said anything. But the fact that you started all your starters, as he said, and risked injury and did all that, and you still got outperformed and you still got slapped up. Guys, there's something that happened today. Bournemouth just did the double. Bournemouth did the double over Arsenal. But me and Staffy are wrong and reactionary for saying what we said. How? There's nothing that myself and Staffy have said in the stream that's been reactionary or anything. We've actually explained our point to Mo, and even Mo at the end was like, yeah, what you're saying makes sense, which is this is not a one-off game thing. This is a cumulative thing. This is a repetitive thing. This is something that's been happening over and over and over and over. And people need to look big picture here. And that's the issue with this whole conversation. Do you want to know this season that Arsenal have only won 5 more games than they have drawn? In 35 games, they have drawn 13 and lost 4. They've won 18. 13 plus 4 is what? 17. Your record in 35 games is 18 and 17s. Imagine. 35 games, your record is 18 wins, 17 draws and losses. How's that okay? It's not. And this is where the point that like we're talking about, it's a cumulative thing, it's a repetitive thing, it's a consistent issue at the football club. And today is prime example of when you watch Arsenal and they get to the final third, they're just completely clueless. They're just completely clueless in the final third. Their tactic really is just give it to Saka and inshallah he does something. Because Odegaard isn't taking a risky pass to save his life. Martinelli has not just fell off a cliff, he has fell off a mountain. I don't even know what to say about Trossard's performance. And this makes me question, because you guys want to make this related to the Champions League, right? No problem. Like and subscribe. We'll be here inshallah even then.
Let me do the super chats. Go ahead.
If you cannot beat Semenyo, Kluivert, Huijsen, Kerkez, how the hell are you going to beat the PSG boys? 1-0 down in Paris. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. And then you're mad at criticism? Where do you go from here with this Arsenal conversation? Are we supposed to go live on YouTube and just praise you all the time? You do realize that when Liverpool fell off last season, I was the most vocal one against the players, against the mistakes that we did. When we finished 5th, I was the most vocal one against the players, against the ownership, just like I am always. All I'm saying is 17 out of 35 games in the Premier League has ended in an Arsenal draw or a loss. No one can tell me this is Saka injury or this is any excuse anymore. Even if you had all your
can I add something to what you just said? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
But you still lost the league to us.
Sam, last season, you guys right third on 8. That is already more than what they could do this season. Because they can only get 9 more points.
I lagged out the number we didn't hear.
Oh, I like that. Sorry. Last season, Liverpool finished on 82 points in 3rd. Okay. This season, Arsenal are currently on 67. They can only get 9 more points. So let's just say, for argument's sake, they win all 3 of them. That's 9 more points. So that's what? They're going to finish on, they're on 67. They're going to finish on 76.
That's their max. Imagine.
That's their max. They can potentially finish 2nd on 76 points. Last season, when you guys finished 3rd, they said they still had a better year than you. You know why? Because they said, we don't care about the Carabao Cup that you won. We finished 2nd in the league, and our team is showing more signs of progression than Liverpool. All right? A year later, forget that you won the league. Wallahi, just forget it. Let's pretend Liverpool didn't win the league. Arsenal's excuse last season that they were progressing and they regressed. Their argument, by the way, is going to be like, oh, but we focus on the Champions League. No one ever said, anyways, that next season you weren't going to focus on the Champions League. So let's not pretend that wasn't a priority from last season anyways. You were always going to go into next season still trying to focus on the Champions League. So if you have factually regressed from the team that won a trophy and finished behind you, a year later, they were not supposed to progress, by the way. They ended up winning the league, and you're not finishing behind them. And your only excuse now is that going to be, oh, we still have a chance to win the Champions League. How is that acceptable in any metrics of football? How in any logic, any person with a brain goes from last year saying we had a better season because we finished 2nd and we're progressing, for them to just regress and say, oh, but it's okay because we're going to compete for a trophy, another trophy. How is that acceptable? Come on, please tell me how that makes sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. And this is why we're actually holding them right now to their words.
One win
Let me remind you, this is not me saying Arteta out. What'd you say? Sorry.
City have 1 win in 13, Staffy, and they're 1 point behind.
And they're behind him. They're 3 points behind him.
You imagine this. This is a crisis.
Hold on, they're 1 point behind him?
No, they're 3. They're 3. They're 3 points.
Yeah, but Arsenal gave Arsenal gave up.
They're 3 points behind.
Yeah, here we go.
Like, I don't think the Arsenal players are focused.
Arsenal gave up. So when Bournemouth, so after Bournemouth scored the 2nd, Arsenal were not actively trying to win the game. We're gonna lie to the audience.
We're trying, but you have to understand.
So they wanted to win the game. There you go.
Well, if you want, go through the super chats and we'll continue, I guess.
Yeah, let me do the super chats. There's a lot of them. Like, Sam, there is one that you actually didn't highlight. What's he doing?
Auto highlight. Dajib Dukhani.
Yeah, عمي, you didn't highlight that super chat يا أخي. I need to go up like a lot.
highlighted انت يعني ايه المشكلة؟
It's like it's even before the stream started. والله العظيم. Here you go. Okay, here we go. Muhammad here is saying lost to Bournemouth. Wallahi, couldn't give a donkey's. PSG is do or die. Owners won't sack Arteta as long as he gets Champions League money. So in and out talk means nothing. But none of us here talking about Arteta out. Even Staffy with his talk, he didn't say Arteta out, by the way. He didn't say Arteta out.
Not
So
every
let's just
conversation has to be an
establish
extreme.
No,
Not
we're
every
not
conversation has to
talking
be
about
in or
Arteta
out.
out, Muhammad, at all, Muhammad. We're not
By the
talking
way,
about
even I didn't mention it. Literally, no one did.
we never.
We
no
might
one
be the
said
only
Arteta.
people that sat here after an Arsenal loss and spoke for 40 minutes and didn't say Arteta in or out.
None of
might
us
be the
said
only
Arteta
people.
out. Wallahi, in or out. None of us said that. None of us.
Yeah.
Nasir here is asking Husam, if PSG play like they did against Liverpool at home, what do you think happens?
Oh, I said at the Paris game, Mo himself will tell you this. I said we were completely lucky to beat PSG 1-0 away from home. We won 1-0 that game based off of pure luck.
And can I tell you something, Husam?
Because
Exactly.
Alisson had
Allah
an
Alisson.
all-timer performance. Is Raya as good as Alisson and can do that? No, in my opinion. Like,
Exactly,
I'm gonna be
Nasser.
honest, I'm gonna be objective here. At least off the top of my head, 2 minimum of the saves that Alisson make are going in the back of the net.
The Kvaratskhelia far post one, the Alisson stretch, that is going in. Just
That
establish
is a
Like,
goal
that's
right there.
going in, right? Like that is going in. Twinny is saying, all right, cool. You lost today and embarrassed yourself. That's fine. Just go and beat PSG then, and then go win Champions League. Because if you don't, heads must roll.
By the way,
That's an
Twinny, even
Arteta
you as an
conversation.
Arsenal fan, this interlinks exactly to what Staffy said, which is we're not going to sit up here and disconnect competitions from each other. Your season is your season. End of discussion. End of discussion.
Yeah.
Spurs have 18 losses. If they win the Europa League first ever trophy since 2007, success. Done. Easy.
Habibi, you
lie,
cannot dominate football when you play football with that mentality, which is, oh, I'm always going to focus on one or two things. It's never happened. It's never happened. This is why Barcelona are about to go for a 3rd treble. Do you understand how impressive it is to be a club with 3 trebles? It means you can compete on front ends on all competitions and do it 3 times. Come on, man. This is not what football is about. We can't be doing this.
I can't lie. I'm glad we're losing because toxic positive fans are turning on Arteta. These Arteta sexuals need to be stopped. I am Arteta out. I am
Arteta out. Big up, Yard man.
Big up my man. Arteta out. Big up my man. Its opinions differ. The guy saying, Osam, help a brother out. We need these points badly.
Yeah, Habibi, these Chelsea fans, you're a bunch of fucking begs who are a bunch of pussies. I'm a Liverpool fan myself, and I already know we're going to lose tomorrow. I have 9 drunk players, and Salah and Konate not drunk because they're Muslim. The other 9 are all drunk on alcohol. For the last week, they have been going out and partying and drinking. What makes you think I give a fuck about tomorrow's game? Yeah, Habibi, I'm going to give you 2 extreme scenarios. If I win 5-0, it makes no difference to my life. And if I lose 5-0, it also makes no difference to my life. خلاص, I'm the champion. يعني who cares? يا أخي.
Carl's Corner saying Arteta is not willing to take risks. He won't play in one area because he isn't a slave to the system. At 65 minutes, the players look unmotivated and then nothing to freshen things. Odegaard is dead to me.
I love the fact that Carl's Corner was honest, and I accused him of not being honest at the start of the season. But that last statement right there, Odegaard is dead to me. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I am pulling my hair out from frustration at Odegaard. I am genuinely sick of Odegaard. I'm not even exaggerating. I'd be sick of the guy by now. Completely sick of him.
All right. See here, it's saying the only reason Arsenal haven't won the quad this season is because the best defensive striker in their league, Havertz, got injured next season.
I know C is saying this in jest, but literally the reason why Arsenal lost the FA Cup was Kai Havertz. Staffy's a United.
Can I tell you the reason? I actually think the reason why Arsenal haven't won trophies and have regressed and they haven't gone forward is the 65 million. By the way, is the 65 million spent on Kai Havertz. You remember me? I said that last season. You know that? You remember that statement or something that I said? I said that 65 you spent might actually be one of the worst things you've done. Is Saka fit? His movement seems very slow. We have no idea if he's unfit or he is unmotivated.
He just hasn't looked good. Like in moments he has since he came back.
He has looked good in only the Real Madrid 2 games. That's it. By the way, that's it.
When did he get subbed off?
No. 80th
70
minute.
something minutes, no?
Mm.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's
all
definitely
right.
fit. So I don't think that's an excuse.
Cal scored say Egal is wrong from form matters, performances matter. I said that
No.
on the football terrace and they said no. I said, and Terry disagreed. I said that if Arsenal don't win the Champions League and they end on like, let's imagine that Arsenal win only one game and win and get on 70 points and they finish fourth. The fear factor is gone from them. You need to build it again. And people don't understand, no, a new season, new start. No, it's not. Liverpool finished. Liverpool won the majority of their games at the end of the season, by the way. They still finished on 82 points, by the way. Arsenal finished on 89. It's not that Liverpool finished on
With
like
all
70
the
points.
injuries.
Yeah, so Ahmed is saying started their strongest lineup to boost players' morale, still lost. They're going to Paris with their players and fans feels like total shit. I still not ruling out the Arsenal can win in
If
Paris,
they
but
play
I
like
still
this away in Paris, like they did today,
but I still maintain my thing, right? I still maintain the same thing. 20 to 30% chance of them going through. I won't be surprised if they go through, but looking at the what is happening now, 20 to 30%. Staffy, how cold was Branson's game winner? My goat.
Bro, listen, bro. Boston, we got something for you. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Hope
I'm in my deluded era when it comes to the Knicks.
Hope you. Yep.
Shout out Brunson, man. King of New York. You already know.
Ahmed is saying dropped 21 points from winning position, their most ever. Ever? Is that ever? Like ever?
Wallah, if it's ever, it's embarrassing, habibi.
It's embarrassing, wallah. Is Egal crying? No, he's not crying. He's not crying.
Shout out Marco.
Shut up, Marco. Did he just diss Pep when he has Arteta? Oh my word. He did this Man City, but he didn't diss Pep.
Papa Beard, you're fighting.
He did.
Let's go.
He did. Maresk, Papa Beard title race. Papa Beard title race is on for you still.
Title race, Papa
Still
Beard.
Title race, Papa Beard.
Yeah, you're only 22 points behind Liverpool. Let's go. 4 games to go. You're going to get double points for every win.
Let's go. Kyle's Corner, Staffy, you grew up with United challenging on all fronts. Arsenal fans cannot understand what you're saying. All I want is Arsenal dominance. Arsenal never dominated. So all you want is Arsenal dominance is different.
That's his point. Don't cook him because
but
that's
the fan base, but the fan base's vibes, everything you said, I agree. Okay.
It's just like everything they show me mode, it doesn't show me that they're entering an era where they could dominate. I don't see it. Yeah. I don't see where they're gonna enter an era.
I don't think Arsenal can dominate, to be honest.
Like, they've never dominated English football. They've
Did you see what is his name? The guy that does I don't know that Faisal Lias SDS.
Oh, you mean the SDS?
The Arsenal guy said that I would rather be in Arsenal's place than Liverpool this
season. It is sharky, bro. It is actually embarrassing, bro.
Sharky.
It's one of the worst
He said I would rather be in Arsenal's place than Liverpool. He said I would rather be in Arsenal place than Liverpool because we're about to dominate the English football for the next 5 years.
No,
and he said, you know when he said it?
The problem is,
it was the first podcast after Liverpool won. So they had Fawizzi, you know Fawizzi from SDS, who's a Liverpool fan. So he's sitting there celebrating as the medals. And he said, I'd rather be in my position right now as an Arsenal fan than you. Mind you, this guy's sitting right now with a Premier League medal. You know the saying in Arabic, عصفور في اليد والعشرة في الشجر. I'd rather have one bird in my hand than the potential to get 10 more from the tree.
You know what the problem with that?
You're guaranteed at least one. That mentality is insane to me.
Do you know what the problem with this is? That the problem is Sharky, and I keep saying this, Sharky has a lot of followers. So they listen to him, they watch SDS, and that translates into a lot of people saying, yeah, he's right. You know, he's right. We'll dominate for the next 5 years. Well, for me, to think in the day that Liverpool won the league that you would rather be Arsenal than Liverpool in the next 5 years while Salah and Van Dijk. The problem is, he was going, Husam, and someone else stopped him, and Faisal told the other guy, I don't know all the names, Faisal told the other guy, you actually cut him off. He was going into one of the most delusional takes to ever happen on YouTube, and they stopped him. And they stopped him from talking. He was literally going to actually go and say, why I would rather be Arsenal than Liverpool. And he was going to say, but we have this, we have the youngest team, the manager and all the stuff. but they stopped. And it was a moment of YouTube.
Mo, it's like me telling you, would you do this? Would you rather have, I'll hand you right now $1 million guaranteed right now, or if you say no, there's a potential that it can get $3 to $5 million in the next 3 to 5 years, but it's not guaranteed. So
give me the $1 million.
Exactly. Because I'm guaranteed $1 million right now. Even if I don't get $1 million later, at least I guaranteed one right now.
I'll spend 500 grand on
having
land
3 to 5 times more, and it's not guaranteed.
and 200 grand on apartments. Let's go.
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss real estate investments right here. What are we?
Can we help the youth of the society?
Why'd you say society like that?
ما بعرف. هيك اجت على بالي.
Is it tax though, Staffy? No, it's not tax. See, this is how you know Mike Dash lives in California, because he knows if I give him $1 million, he's probably getting like 400 grand. That's how much they're taxing his ass.
And getting taxed, his ass is getting taxed, bro. Like,
that's how you know he lives in California, bro.
See, California, if you shit a little bit more, they might tax you on that shit. A little bit more than the norm. Guys, Husam is now only on guard of honor. Watch along. Stop your begs. Let's get the win by any means necessary. Arteta in.
That's what I'm saying, Andrew. Bro, this team is drunk. We lost 5. You know that they showed the replay of 5 years ago and we won the last league title. Trent couldn't even stand in the line properly, bro. Mane had to guide him to stand in the fucking line. This is who will pull up tomorrow. And you think we're gonna sit up here and be fucking serious? I predicted Chelsea win 3-2, and he got that guy in the chat begging me, please let us win.
Saka isn't fit. He even said he's not 100%. Fair enough, B, that you told us this. Hey, Ash! If we don't win the Champions League, this is considered a catastrophic season. After so much improvement over the last few years, but not having the mentality to cross the line, show Arteta is lacking. There's a lot of people.
JJ is a very fair and objective guy. If he's saying this, this is dangerous.
Yeah. Because JJ likes Arsenal and likes to back Arsenal, but him saying this is not good, bro. Yeah. When he's saying, Staffy, I can't speak for everyone, but I have been pissed all year. Why would I keep raging after the 17th bad result, though? I'm not saying this is acceptable. Just win the Champions League and spin big in the summer.
Yeah, but you know the problem?
What if you don't?
Your footnote in the super chat is the most important point. Just win the UCL. Like, just
That's
win.
not as easy.
Just win the Champions League, you know? You're 1-0 down going to France.
20, listen, I hear what you're saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, he's basically saying it's happened too much that I can't get angry on this time. I get you, but let me remind you of what Sam said earlier.
Watermelon. Shout out the mom. Watermelon.
It's an accumulation, 20. That is why, like, wallahi, I was so angry watching the game today, and I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I just got so angry, bro. And I'm like, there's no pride in these players today leading up to their biggest game of the season. Let's just be honest. This PSG game is about to be their biggest game in probably the past decade or two, because they haven't been in a semi-final in the Champions League since 2009. So that's what, 16 years ago? This is going to be their biggest game in the last 2 decades. You have done nothing as players to go into this game and give these fans something to be confident about. You think, Mo, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm having chest backing a team captained by Odegaard in the Parc des Princes. Yeah, Habibi, they were trying to ban drums from the Emirates because it was too loud and they couldn't focus on the game. That was the away end. Good luck when you go there, bro. They're some of the most toxic fans in Europe. And you think I'm gonna back this team?
I'm gonna tell you. I was gonna say something.
Shout out the super chat first, because you got
JJ Dubs in the chat.
W's for JJ. Come on.
JJ Wash. That's his name now. JJ
Thank
Wash.
you, Ash. Wash. Yes, Wash. I'm going to go do start my stream. I just wanted to say something, to be honest with you guys. No. I'm just going to say something before I go. Huh? MHF, smash the likes, people, and subscribe. Well, we still have like 900 people here. Smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. I'm going to tell you something, Arsenal fans. I just thought about it when Staffy was talking. In Man United's biggest game of the season against the Bilbao, which is equivalent, the difference between PSG and Arsenal is the difference between Man United and Bilbao. Bilbao are 4th, Man United are fucking 14th. Man United went out and smashed them 3-0. I'm just going to say that. By the way, Man United's whole future relies on this competition, by the way. Instead of rebuilding 6 years, it is getting cut to 3 years. for one game only. It's the next game in Europa League. That's it.
I'm
That's all
fighting a
gonna say.
samurai and there's a shark pit behind me. And I have to fight. If the samurai beats me, I die. These guys, they're not in a die situation. If Arsenal lose this competition, nothing happens. Their future is going to remain the same. I'm either going to fall to the sharks right now or I got to beat this fucking samurai. And I don't know how to fucking fight, but I got to beat this samurai. I'm sitting 14th. I'm in the San Mammoth and I got Bruno Fernandes scoring a brace while Odegaard is getting dunked on in the back post. He got posterized. You guys, if you watch me, you know what a poster is. He got put on a poster, bro. That's your captain. Come on, man. Unacceptable. See, now the quality of the show just increased.
Yeah, the quality of the show now is elite. Big up to David who says petition to rename the channel MHSF. That's a long ass name.
See, Allah, I said nothing. I said nothing.
It's very long.
But that name would be whack. We need a better name.
Yeah,
what would be a better name? If it's
you have to change the name. You cannot go MSHF. Hello, everyone. Welcome to MSHF. It just doesn't. That's
yeah. Welcome to MHSF. Wallah, it sounds like a
name, you know.
It sounds like a DoorDash promo code. Put in MHSF, get 20% off your 20% off your next order.
Allegedly, guys, this is just a joke, but put on MHSF 6031 and you're gonna get the burger off. Like it's just doesn't work. Big up to you, David. I'm not saying it's easy to win the Champions League, but it's a must or sack the gaffer. My stand on the club is clear. The players have time to grow, not him. You must. But here's the thing, Twinny, you and JJ, and a lot of the Arsenal fans that have interacted with us on the stream are usually quite positive Arsenal fans. You're not one of the reactionary types. You're not one of these guys. You're just sat here. You're honest. You want your club to do well. Like you're actually more positive than you are negative. You know what I'm saying? But if you are saying stuff like this and JJ Ash is saying stuff like this, that's how I know that the excuses have dried up. And that's just me being honest and objective. I believe completely that the excuses have dried up. I think it's all horse shit. I think it's all waffle. I think people you can't just listen to what you like. We have to be honest here. You know, me and Staffy, by the way, will tell you this 50-50. We agree. We don't always agree. He disagrees with me on topics. I agree with him on topics. That's fine. But today we were in complete agreement because you had all your starters out. You can't fucking put on a performance like that. And the key was when Bournemouth scored the second, it's not like the Arsenal fans were like walking on the pitch and shit. No, they wanted to win. That shows that they cared. He fucking cared, bro. And that's the thing. So, yeah, we'll see. But it's an accumulation. Today is just an accumulation. 17 games out of 35 you've drawn or lost. Are you mad? So no one can use the Saka injury thing anymore, by the way. That's dead completely. Big up to my guy, Marco Luise. صاحبي. Well, I can't wait for that Arsenal Jumbo on Wednesdays. Today, اسمع. Today, watch along ابن وسخة. ولا له دخل بالمباراة. Troops' watch along. Arsenal Jumbo. Taste the biscuit. Nothing. Everything. The whole stream كان كلياته just vibes. وشغلنا. By the way, JJ Ash, YouTube messaged me copyright infringement for Leila Billeil. So I just trimmed out the segment. Bro, we were vibing. We were listening to songs. We were discussing top 5 artists. Arsenal are in the fucking mud, bro. They're just in the fucking mud.
It's so annoying, bro. It's so annoying.
It is. And actually, they're the reason why anyone can claim that this season's boring. Wallahi, it's your fault, not mine.
But that's why I used to tell you. You guys used to get Liverpool fans used to think I'm dissing them when I said this is one of the weakest leagues. But it was never on them. Yeah, I'll tell you the same thing. I say the same thing about the Europa League. Wallah, I've been saying it for weeks. Before we even beat Lyon, I kept saying if United win the Europa League this season, wallah, shame on everyone that's in it. And just know this is the weakest Europa League we've ever seen. And I'm a United fan saying that. And I think I said it on Straight Facts, and Dunn was like, oh, but like, does it mean? I was like, bro, I'm still going to celebrate it. Just know it wasn't good because no one really.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't allow this United team, as bad as they've been. Forget United. United and Spurs in the final, 15th and like 17th in the league. It's embarrassing. That same thing I'm applying to the Premier League. I just
it's an amazing league quality-wise, but it's just the fact that there is no title.
No, it's not quality-wise. I'm sorry. Maybe I think Tom Little said it the best. He said the ceiling has lowered, but the floor has risen. So when you look at the floor, just because there's a huge gap between the relegated teams and everyone else, it shows you that it's a higher floor. But the ceiling, come on, bro. You can go from last season, third place was at 82 points, and now this season, second place is sitting on
Yeah,
60.
but by definition, if the
Yes.
floor has risen, then the quality of the league is better. For me, you know,
because the
what
middle
makes
pack
the
is
quality of the league
stronger.
better?
It doesn't
Let me
mean that
tell you
any of them had enough quality to go up.
Let me tell you what makes the quality of this league.
So
great.
Hassan, let me just put that in the context.
Yeah.
Bournemouth being better doesn't make the competition for the league better, because now they went from being a
No, but I'm
relegation
not talking
fodder
about
to being a
competition for
very
the league.
solid
I'm
middle
talking
table
about
team.
Premier League in general. We're talking about the league from 1 to 20. What makes this league for me amazing this year is the Forest and the Newcastle and the Villa and the Bournemouth and the Fulham. These
Yeah,
clubs.
the middle pack, as I said.
Because all of them, like before, right? Like 10 years ago, even the distance between like Chelsea and Swansea was like this. Now the distance is like this.
No,
So
but
maybe
can
the
you-
teams here went a little bit down, but the teams here went like this.
No, but you can argue in the pursuit of the middle pack being stronger, which is, as you said, the Aston Villas, the Newcastles, even the Bournemouths.
Yeah.
For them to actually improve, you've actually lost the relegation teams, because like now every relegation team comes up and they're not even Premier League quality.
But
So
doesn't
you
that by
actually-
definition show you that there's better quality? Think about it.
No,
10
but that's what I'm
years
saying.
ago,
I
every
agree
time
with
there's
you.
a club that's in the relegation, and like they came up from the championship, they actually had a hope of staying in the league. And
There used to be
fighting.
relegation teams, as an example, that can finish mid-table, but they can't even do that no
yes.
more. But
Now,
that's what I'm saying. The
because of the
middle of the
quality of the league
table
is
has
high,
improved.
the teams that come from the championship have no hope.
Yeah, but exactly. Me and you are looking at the same thing, agreeing on it, but I'm saying it improved the middle of the table, but it's not impacting the top. You're seeing a little bit different. And I hear it, because now you're saying it's harder to play a mid-table this year
Yes, that's
than it
my
is a
point.
few years ago. But
Yeah,
equally,
even the games that we had this season, by the way, it's not like we're out here doing Fulham 5-1, Bournemouth 4-0, bro. It's very difficult to beat these teams. We had to fight for our life to beat Bournemouth. Salah out of nowhere, top bins shot and penalty. That's it. That's how we beat Bournemouth, by the way. It's not like we were like it was. But anyway, listen. This stream's gonna take you over to Footy Judge Mo, guys. Spam his chat with number 20. No, actually, that's boring. Spam his
yeah,
chat
why would
with
you spam that
Lautaro.
to Mo? He doesn't care.
Spam it with Lautaro in his chat. Bro, please
Lautaro
spam
again?
Lautaro in his chat so his face turns red and shit. Love you all, and see you guys over on Footy Judge Mo. I'm gonna be spamming that in that comment section too. Love you all. Peace out. Subscribe to Staffy TV as well. حطها بالدescription. حطها بالدescription. Subscribe to Staffy TV.
It's right
guys.
here, and it disappeared. But you know what I mean. It's right here.
Here. It's right here. See?
There it is.
Boom! Boom! I know
There
how
it
to
is.
use the layouts thing now. No, I don't. I
Congrats,
don't
you've
know
been
how to
doing
use
YouTube
the
for like
filter.
5 years. Took you long
Okay,
enough.
see you guys later.